Alright, so as you can see here, we're in an area of the game that's known as Kingsmouth. This is one of the earlier areas of the game, and the player is sent to this area by their secret society because this area has suddenly dropped off the map. There's no information getting in or out. The player's been sent here to investigate, and they've been specifically told that this is not a rescue mission. They're not there to save people's lives, they're just there to find out what's going on. And so you can see here the mission UI, and you can see how we expanded out. It's an augmented reality type of UI here. And Ragnar's going to sort of take the first mission now, and we'll just sort of show you how we do our setups for the missions in the game.
This forest crawls. Gets my fingers itching for two matters. One, the other, figuring out a way to keep them down. It ain't right the way the dead walk the earth. They deserve their 6 feet, same as everyone else. I've sworn to keeping guard here. You've got places to be. Nothing's stopping you from culling the herd as you go. Hell, figure out what makes them tick and how to make that ticking stop. And I'll buy you a beer at the apocalypse. So go on, kid. Saddle up. The end of the world waits for no man.
Okay, so Jack's obviously wanting the player to go out and take care of some of the zombies for him, so we're going to sort of show you now, as we move forward through this mission, how we've really sort of combined environmental mechanics with the world to sort of create this dynamic gameplay all throughout the game, not just on missions. So, first of all, I'd like you to sort of notice the tiers on the side here. Basically, tiers is something we've implemented in the game to sort of allow players to be on a mission, do pieces of a mission, and then just leave that mission and come back to it at another point. So if players complete a tier, then their progress is saved. It's almost like an autosave point, so they can then leave the mission and they can come back again and pick it up from where they were. They don't have to restart. Just going to give this a little bit of volume because the next bit's a bit of an environmental cue with a bit of sound. So as you see here, Ragnar's going to jump on the car, and it triggers the car alarm, which creates more zombies coming into the area to attack the player. Basically, sound is attracting the zombies. Now, there's two things about this. This environmental mechanic is all throughout the area. It's not just on this mission. It's just there to, it's like this mission is about teaching the player all about the mechanic. Okay, and so this is very important to us because this is one of the early areas of the game, and this is the sort of place where you get sort of several hundred players running through very early in the game, and then they might have cleaned out the population of zombies. So here we give players a way to dynamically create more zombies in the game for themselves, so then players never really feel like they're running out of things to do here. And now we're sort of going to move on now and show you another environmental mechanic and how we combine our environmental mechanics to create really interesting gameplay. So we're using the gas cans that have been left sort of lying around on the road. And using the gas can creates a hazard area, an environmental hazard area. In this case, it's a ring of fire if you want. And then Ragnar sort of uses the car alarm to pull out more zombies, and then he drags them through the fire. So here he is combining these two environmental mechanics. And when the zombies are in the fire, it sets them in this burning state, which players can then exploit using their skills and abilities. So again, this sort of thing is all through the game. These mechanics are just not available only on this mission. They're all throughout the game, and we use these missions to sort of teach them about this. And so now the player sort of will leave this mission knowing a lot more about zombies than they did at the start, also their weaknesses. Right. So now we're going to introduce one of the early bosses in the game. And this creature is called the Corpse Gorger. And here he comes. I wouldn't take him on with a sledgehammer, but that's just me. He's pretty solid. He's basically a mutated zombie. He has an interesting backstory and a very good reason for being in the game, which is explained in another of the missions in this area of the game. So we're using the sort of, again, the monsters in the game to tell the story of what's happening in this area. Now, I'd like to point out that sort of these things are dying really quickly. This is because for the demo purposes, we've upped the power of our players so we can get through things fairly quickly. I'd also like to draw attention to our waypoint system. You see here on the screen we have waypoints which lead the player, direct the player to their next target, so that we really sort of want players to be able to get where they're going quickly without being confused. But there are missions where we don't use this, missions which involve like the player thinking, the missions which involve the players discovering locations. We don't use these waypoints in every instance. We just use them to increase the sort of flow of the game.